The world was told this would be impossible. Not difficult, not unlikely, impossible. For more than a decade, the most powerful governments, the most advanced corporations, and the most sophisticated intelligence agencies on Earth operated under a single assumption: that one technology could not be replicated, that one bottleneck could not be bypassed, that one monopoly would hold. That assumption is now breaking, quietly, without an announcement, without a press conference, without permission. And what is unfolding is not just another technological milestone. It is a structural shift in global power. Because what you are about to understand is not about a machine. It is not even about chips. It is about control, speed, and the timeline of artificial intelligence itself. For years, the global order rested on a fragile belief that advanced AI would always be constrained by access to hardware. That whoever controlled the most advanced chips would control the future of intelligence. And that this control would remain firmly in Western hands. That belief is now under threat. According to reporting confirmed by Reuters, Chinese scientists have completed a working prototype of an extreme ultraviolet lithography system, a machine designed to generate EUV light at 13.5 nanometers. The same foundational technology used to manufacture the world's most advanced AI chips. This is the technology that powers modern artificial intelligence, the invisible foundation beneath every frontier model. The reason some nations can scale intelligence, while others cannot. And for years, the West believed this technology was unreachable. Because EUV lithography is not just complicated, it is one of the most complex engineering achievements in human history. Each machine costs hundreds of millions of dollars, weighs more than 180 tons, contains hundreds of thousands of precision components, requires mirrors so smooth that if scaled to the size of a country, their imperfections would measure less than a millimeter. Only one company on Earth mastered this process: ASML. And for years, that mastery gave the West leverage. Export controls, sanctions, diplomatic pressure. The logic was simple. Without EUV, there would be no advanced chips. Without advanced chips, there would be no artificial general intelligence. And without AGI, strategic dominance could be preserved. Time, it was believed, was on the West's side. That belief created comfort. It shaped policy. It shaped timelines. But timelines, it turns out, were wrong. What makes this moment different is not speculation. It is not rumor. It is not a laboratory curiosity. The Chinese prototype is operational. It is generating extreme ultraviolet light. It occupies an entire factory floor. And it is currently undergoing testing. This does not mean China is producing advanced chips today. Not yet. But it does mean the single most difficult barrier has been crossed. To understand why this matters, you must understand what EUV really represents. EUV is not a single invention. It is an ecosystem. Generating EUV light is one challenge. Controlling it is another. Using it reliably at industrial scale is an entirely different level of complexity. The machine must operate in near-perfect vacuum. The silicon wafers must be positioned with accuracy measured in fractions of a nanometer. The optics must maintain alignment at extreme temperatures and speeds. The photoresist must react predictably. The entire system must function continuously, not once, but millions of times. This is why ASML took decades to perfect it. This is why analysts believe China was at least 10 to 15 years away. And yet, here we are. This forces a difficult question. If experts were wrong about this timeline, what else are they wrong about? Because this is not an isolated pattern. The world was told China could not train competitive AI models without massive compute. Then DeepSeek emerged. The world was told China could not produce advanced nodes without EUV. Then SMIC delivered 7-nanometer chips using older equipment and architectural workarounds. The world was told efficiency could not substitute for scale. Then Chinese labs demonstrated otherwise. Again and again, predictions failed. Not because China moved faster than expected, but because assumptions were flawed. The assumption was that denying access would stop progress. The assumption was that complexity would deter replication. The assumption was that monopoly equals permanence. History suggests otherwise. When China is cut off, it does not retreat. It concentrates. Resources are mobilized at state scale. Talent is recruited aggressively. Reverse engineering becomes systematic, and timelines compress. In 2019, China launched a major talent recruitment initiative, offering compensation packages that exceeded Western norms by multiples. Former ASML engineers were among those recruited, not junior staff, senior specialists, individuals who understood the hidden decisions behind designs. Because some knowledge cannot be learned from patents. It lives in experience, in failures, in iterations never published. And once that knowledge transfers, the game changes. Western intelligence agencies warned about this years ago. German intelligence documented systematic recruitment programs targeting strategic technologies. Warnings were issued. They were largely ignored. Today, the result is visible. The prototype exists. The light source works. The physics are proven. The remaining challenge is integration and scale. This is where reality matters. Producing EUV light in isolation is not the same as producing chips. It is like building an engine without a transmission. The system runs, but the vehicle does not move. Yet history tells us something important. ASML took roughly a decade to move from working EUV light to reliable commercial chip production. But ASML was pioneering. China is replicating. Replication is faster than invention. And the Chinese state has something ASML never had. Virtually unlimited funding, centralized coordination, and national strategic priority. This effort has been compared to a Manhattan Project. Not rhetorically, structurally. The original Manhattan Project mobilized talent, funding, secrecy, and urgency to achieve what was thought impossible in under 4 years. China's Semiconductor initiative operates under similar conditions. Leadership oversight at the highest levels. Direct reporting to the top of the political hierarchy. No corporate quarterly pressure. No shareholder constraints. Only outcome. This is why timelines matter. Public estimates suggest China aims to produce functional chips using this technology by 2028. More conservative assessments suggest 2030. Either way, this is dramatically earlier than expected. 5 years may not sound dramatic in politics. In artificial intelligence, it is an eternity. Because AI does not progress linearly. It compounds. Every increase in compute accelerates discovery. Every efficiency gain multiplies capability. Every reduction in constraint shortens timelines. And this is where the deeper risk emerges. Artificial intelligence is not limited by algorithms. It is limited by hardware. Once hardware constraints disappear, the race accelerates uncontrollably. For years, Western AI safety strategies relied on one core assumption, that access to advanced compute could be regulated. That assumption is now weakening. If China achieves semiconductor independence, it can build AI infrastructure entirely outside Western governance frameworks, outside export controls, outside cooperative safety agreements. This does not automatically mean recklessness, but it does change incentives. When two superpowers approach transformative intelligence simultaneously, the incentive is not caution, it is speed. Speed becomes survival. And when speed dominates, safety erodes. This is not hypothetical. If AGI emerges in a context where no actor can slow the other, the result is a compression of decision-making, oversight, and alignment work. The margin for error shrinks. The stakes increase. This is why the EUV breakthrough matters far beyond chips. It reshapes the AI timeline itself. It removes the final hardware bottleneck that many believed would delay AGI into the distant future. It challenges the assumption that the West could buy time. And time, in AI, is the most valuable resource. The deeper implication is uncomfortable. What if the race to AGI is not won by those with the safest frameworks, but by those with the fewest constraints? What if efficiency, coordination, and scale matter more than openness? What if the defining advantage is not innovation, but execution? These questions do not have simple answers, but ignoring them is not an option. Because the machine now exists. The physics work. The monopoly is broken. And once that happens, the trajectory changes permanently. This is not about panic. It is about clarity. The age of assuming limits is over. The age of believing in technological choke points is ending. The future of artificial intelligence will not be decided by who writes the best code. It will be decided by who can build, scale, and control the machines that run it. And that future is arriving faster than anyone planned. Not with an announcement, not with a warning, but with a prototype, quietly operating on a factory floor. The question is no longer whether this changes everything. The question is whether the world is prepared for what comes next. Because once the hardware barrier falls, intelligence no longer waits. It accelerates, and history does not pause to catch up.